Hello students. Good morning everyone. Okay, so we are going to start our session for today. So I hope everyone is there. I can see only two students, and where are others? Good morning everyone. Okay, shall we start now? Good morning, Sarindy. Okay, we so let's start our session for today. Yesterday we were doing I was explaining the chapter in the Kingdom of Soul. So I hope everyone has understood. Good morning, everyone. Everyone has understood whatever things I have explained it, isn't it? Yeah, good morning, Sangeeta. Good morning, everyone. I can see you now. Okay, so everyone is here. So without wasting our time, let's start the class for today. Yeah, good morning, Dimple. Okay, so let's start our lesson for today because you know that there would be connection problem in our and we could not even complete the lesson. So let's start it as soon as possible. So okay, so yesterday in the Kingdom of Fool, I will just repeat the thing again that we came to know about a kingdom where where there was a foolish king and minister. The kingdom was ruled by foolish king and minister. And that king and minister, they have changed their routine, the duty of the people. Like they do not want to do like other kingdom, other kings they used to do. So they have changed the day and night, the duty of day and night. So there in that kingdom, people have to work at night time and they have to sleep at daytime. So that was the duty made by the king and the minister. So after that, sudden one as everyone has was given the same duty. Even the animals were pushed to that particular duty. Even the animals they follow that duty, and if suddenly anyone doesn't follow it, so what happened? They would be given punishment and all. And in order to just keep themselves away from the punishment, they have to follow it. So there was no choice for the common people. They have to listen what their king and minister ordered them. They don't have any other choice. So they were doing according to their king and minister. Okay. So after that, what happened? One day, Guru and disciple arrive at the place. They look around every here and there, and they were very much surprised to see that no people were there. Not even a single mouse can be seen. Not even the birds are chirping in the trees, as it was a daytime. But still, there were no one. So they were surprised, and they could not understand what was going on there. Okay, good morning, Anish. So I can see everyone here. So after that, what happened after that? They just roam around here and there for some time, and when the night started, and suddenly people wake up and they started their business, their work. People, farmers, they went to their field to cultivate the field, and also cultivation was done, and businessmen, they were doing their work. So in that way, the people started working at night time. And then they just, as they were very much hungry, they don't have so much time to just think about the situation, so they went to a shop to buy food for them. And they were even surprised at the shop. Why they were surprised? Because they found that whatever they buy, whatever amount, whatever thing they buy, whatever product they buy, it costs the same, a single rupee. Good morning, Vinay. Good morning, everyone. Okay, good morning, everyone. So and have started already. I have started the classes. So I'm repeating the same thing what I have done what I have explained yesterday. Buy it is only for a single rupee. So they were very happy. At first, the Guru and the disciples, they were happy. So they bought the good things and they just cooked the food and they ate. But later on, the Guru, he realized that they should not actually stay in such a kingdom, because the king of this kingdom and the minister of this kingdom are not very wise people. They are very foolish people. So anything can happen. So he can actually smell the dangerous moment at that time. So he also informed everything. He explained to his disciple that they should not stay there. They should, as it will be dangerous for them, because these foolish people can change decision within a few seconds, within a few minutes. They will not even think about anyone. So it might harm them. So the Guru, he requested the disciple that they should actually leave the kingdom. They should not stay there. But the disciple, as he could not see what actually the uh, Guru can see, Guru can actually understand. He could not understand. So the disciple, he does not want to go from there, because he want to enjoy each and every moment, having good food and all, because the disciple was a foodie. He was a great foodie. He actually loves food. Okay. So in this way, the Guru, he understood that his disciple is not going with him, so he just left the disciple and he just went away from there. And the disciple, he was actually very happy, enjoying each and every meal in a very less amount, less price. So he was very happy. And after some days, he became like a very big sacred bull, a sacred, you can say, yeah, bull. So then suddenly what happened one day in the merchant house, a thief very secretly got inside the house to steal uh, steal his jewelry, everything from his house. But suddenly, as he was just stealing and just coming outside from the house in a secret way, suddenly the wall of the house fall on him, and he died there. And the brother of the thief, he just went to uh, the king, and he explained everything, that he actually did not told that he was actually stealing the things. He told that he was taking out his ancient things, which he has kept there. And while taking out, because of the wall fell on him, he died. And he told that he blamed it on the merchant, because he has not built a good house, and because of that, he his brother died. Now who will take after his brother's family? Who will look after them? So he told that they should be given something, and the one who is actually the main culprit, he should punish the culprit. So in this way, the things was going on. Okay, so I think you have understood till then. Okay, till then, and the merchant was called by the king in his kingdom, and then he asked his name, and then he asked that what has happened. And in that way, the merchant, he replied that as the wall was so weak, so it fell on him and he died. And the merchant was also very guilty of, like, a person has died in his home. He was also very, he has become very emotional. He also felt bad for that a person has died at his home. But here the king was not thinking that the person has gone to steal someone's house. He was not taking in that way. He was taking that, yes, justice should be done, and the one who is the culprit, he will be given a punishment. So up to there, I think you have understood. Yes or no? Do you have any doubts here? Till here? Are you listening? So that I can, if you have no doubt, shall I continue the other part of the lesson of this story? Okay. So I can continue, yeah? Okay, so after that, we just look at the book. We just take out page number 21. We have completed till there yesterday. Okay. So after that, okay. Okay. So the accused pleads guilty. Your wall killed this man's brother. You have murdered a man. We have to punish you. So now, the one who has come to blame, the person who has come to blame the merchant, he he he's actually telling him that there should be some justice should be done. He should provide something to the family member of the house of that man. And also he was very guilty. The merchant was very guilty that all those things happened. He was very emotional. He felt bad for that. And then the king, he said that, yes, your wall killed this man's brother. The king, he said that because of your wall, this man's brother was killed, and you have murdered a man. Now here, how it can be possible that without doing anything, the merchant has murdered a man? Of course, no, isn't it? The merchant has not murdered a man. It was his fault. The a thief's fault that he has got inside, and it was nothing related with the merchant. But here, see how foolish these people are. No, even the king was. So they do whatever they wish to do. So you have murdered a man. We have to punish you. Now the king here said that, okay, now you are a murderer. So we have to punish you. There is no choice, and we have to give justice to his brother. So in that way, they were just up the wall, and then the merchant, he was very afraid that what he will do, because it was not his fault, isn't it? It was not his fault. He said, Lord, means he addressed to the king, Lord, said the helpless merchant. The merchant, he was helpless now. There was no one who will actually give him support. And then addressing the king as Lord, I didn't put up the wall. And he said that, actually I didn't put up, I have not made this wall. It's really the fault of a man who built the wall. And then this merchant, now he blamed that this is not my fault, Lord. It was the fault of that man who has actually built the wall. He didn't build it right. You should punish him. So now the merchant, he said that to the king that he was not one to be blamed. It is not his fault. It is the fault of that person who has actually built this wall, and he built it very weakly. It was not very proper, very strong wall. He has not built a strong wall, and you should actually punish him. So the merchant, he said to the king that you should not punish me. You should punish that person who has built the wall. Clear, everyone? Okay. Then who is that? Now the king also, he wants to know. So who is that who has actually built the wall? So now the things diverted. Now it was till then it was the merchant to be blamed. Now again the blame has put on someone else. The merchant has put the blame on someone else. So here, no, actually here, if we see, there was no one to be who is responsible in this. Is not it? But still, as they were foolish. Now there should be justice should be done. So now they will give punishment to one particular. They will catch it and they will bring it. So now how they do it? Okay, let's see. So now merchant, he replied that it was not his fault. it was the fault of a man who has actually built the wall. Now the king wants to know it, who is that person? And then he said, "My lord, this wall was built in my father's time. I know the man. He is an old man now. He lives nearby." And then the merchant he replied to the king that, "My lord," addressing as my lord to the king, "this wall actually it was built in his father's time. It was not. It was built when his father was alive. I know the man." And he said he knows the man who has actually he know the man who knows the man who has actually built this wall. But now he has become very old. He lives nearby, and he said that he lives just nearby here. I know the man, but now he is very old. The king sent out messengers to bring in the bricklayer who had built the wall. They brought him tied hand and foot. And then he said, actually the king he sent out his messenger, and told his messenger, just go and bring that bricklayer. Bricklayer means one who actually build the houses and all. No? You can say mason. You can say. So the king ordered his messenger to just go and bring the bricklayer who had actually built this wall. And then they went, as the king has ordered them. They went and they just brought uh, the man who has built the wall. He brought them, tying his hand and foot. They have tied his hand and foot, and they brought him in the king near in the king's palace. Okay, and now you there. Did you build this man wall in his father's time? And then the king he said, that, okay, you are the one. Did you build this man's house or this man's wall in his? Or you can say the mason. He asked the mason that you are the one who has actually built. Okay, so the king he asked the old man, that are you the one who has built this wall when during his father's time? He asked, and then the king sent sorry, not that. Yes, my lord, I did. And then the old man, he replied, yes, my lord, as addressing to the king, yes, my lord, I have built the wall. What kind of wall is this that you built? It has fallen on a poor man and killed him. You have murdered him. We have to punish you by death. Now the king he said that, what kind of wall you have built? See, now as because you have built such a weak wall, uh, that it has fallen on a poor man and killed him. Now poor man, was he a poor man? No, of course not, isn't it? He was not a poor man. He was actually a thief. How can he be a poor man? But the king is addressing him as a poor man. And he said that you have killed that poor man because you have built a weak wall, and that's why it fell on him and his killed. And now you are the murderer. Now the merchant's blame has gone upon to the bricklayer, the one who has actually built the wall. Okay. So you have murdered him. The king he said that, you have murdered him. Now you are the murderer, and we have to punish you by death. And now he said that now he will be punished by death because he is a murderer. Okay, clear everyone? Is there any doubt till here? Do you have any problem till here? Whatever explanation I have done till now, have you understood everyone? Okay, no doubt. Yeah. Okay, so then I will go to the other part. Okay, after that, what happened? Okay, after that, now the blame is put on, now the blame is given to whom? To the to the bricklayer. Now he will be punished to death. Now what will happen next? Okay, now how he actually saved himself. So he will also get the chance to save himself. Yeah. Okay. So, okay, before the king could order the execution, okay, before the king, there was, okay, before the king could order the execution, the poor bricklayer pleaded, okay, please listen to me before you give your orders. It's true, I built this wall and it was no good, but that was because my mind was not on it. I remember very well a dancing girl who was going up and down that street all day with her anklets jingling, and I could not keep my eyes or my mind on the wall. I was building I was building. You must get that dancing girl. I know where she lives. Now, the as the merchant has got a chance to save himself, similarly now the bricklayer, that means the mason, he said to the king, okay, before you just you order the execution. Execution means carry out the plan, whatever plan you have made for the to give the punishment. Okay. So before he could actually order the execution, the poor bricklayer, he just requested the king that please listen to me. Before you give any orders, please listen. You have to give me one chance. And then he said, yeah, it's true. It's true that I built this wall and it was not so good wall. But why this happened? Why those things happen? So I want to just tell you. And then only you give your orders. And he said that, and that was because my mind was not there. As I was working, as I was making the wall, during that time, my mind was diverted to something else. And then he said that I remember very well. He said, I just remember those things very well. That while I was making this wall, a girl, a dancing girl, she was just going up and down the street. She was going up and down the street the whole day. That the whole day while I was just making the uh, wall, and she was very beautiful girl, and that she has put anklets on her. Anklets means pearl, isn't it? So she has put anklets on her, and this anklet was jingling every time when she just uh, goes down the street and when she just returned back from there. So, and because of that, the whole day she was just going up and down the street, and because of that, my eyes could not actually concentrate on my work. I had my mind diverted, and I have to see every time I have to see that girl who is just walking up and down there, and that's why my mind diverted. And it was her fault. It was her fault that she couldn't. She has distracted my mind. She has distracted my mind, and because of that dancing girl, today I am here. It is not my fault. It is the fault of that girl, and I know where she lives. You have to punish her. It is not me. So now the blame was put on the dancing girl. So here he said that it was because she was a beautiful girl and she was just going down the street every time, and her anklets were jingling, and I could not concentrate on my work. And because of that, I made a very weak wall. So I know where she lives. Now he said that because to save himself, he must put the blame on someone else. And it was the girl. Now the girl will be called on the court. So now what will happen next? Okay. You are right, the case deepens. We must look into it. It is not easy to judge such complicated case. Let's get the dancer wherever she is. Now the king, he also support the mason, that means the bricklayer, that yes, you are right actually. This is actually true. And the case deepens. The case goes on very deeply. Now it became very complicated case. Now it's not so easy to judge who is the one, the main culprit of this whole incident. So it became very complicated. Complicated means very difficult to understand the case properly. So now the dancer will be called in the court. So now the king, he will order his messenger to just get the girl wherever she is. The dancing girl, now an old woman, came trembling to the court. Now the dancing girl was called and now she is not a very young girl. She has also become an old woman, and she came trembling. Trembling means like shivering. How an old person walks, isn't it? They could not walk properly, just trembling. And she came into the court. Did you walk up and down that street many years ago while this poor man was building a wall? Did you see him? And now the king asked the girl, so that did you walk up and down the street many years ago, and while this poor man was building a wall, and did you distract his mind at that time? Did you see him at that time? He asked the girl, and then the girl, what she replied, yes, my lord, I remember it very well. And then the girl replied, yes, my lord. My lord, of course, every time it is addressed to the king in a respected way. So, yes, my lord, I remember it very well. And then the girl also, she said that, yes, it is true. I remember that day what has happened. That I have to come every time, I have to do every time up and down the street. And what was the reason behind it? Now she will also explain it, okay? So you did walk up and down with your anklets jingling. You were young and you distracted him. And then the uh, king, he said, yeah, it is, yes, you remember that you walked up and down that day and you were putting anklets on your leg. And because of the jingling of the anklet, you distracted this man's mind, and you were young at that time. You distracted, and now you see he has built a very bad wall, and that has killed a person. It has fallen on a poor burglar and killed him. You have killed an innocent man. You will have to be punished. Now, the king, now the case goes on very deeply. Now, the blame that was put on at first it was the merchant, after merchant it came to the bricklayer, and now the dancing girl is in problem. Yeah. So now it has fallen on a poor burglar because of you, because you have distracted the mind of this man. You have killed a poor burglar. It has fallen that wall, which was not so strong, that fall on him, and that killed a poor burglar. And now see what happened. You have killed an innocent man. Now Shiva has become a murderer. Now you can see that how this foolish king, how he is actually judging the case. So you have killed an innocent man. You will have to be punished. Now the punishment will be given to the woman, the girl. Okay? Understood, everyone? Is there any problem with you? Okay, Suhana, is there any problem? Do you have any doubts here now? Okay, I think you have no doubts. I could not get a reply, so you have no doubts, I think so. If you have any doubts, you can just reply it so that I will repeat the thing again and again. Okay? Priya. Okay, Priya, you have not understood. Okay, so I will. It means that now, okay, it means that the case has deepened a lot, because actually this case was a very simple case. There was no murderer actually. In real sense, if we will say, there was actually no murderer here, isn't it? No one has killed that person. The person has killed because a wall fell on him, and this blame should not be put to anyone, because here we have a king, foolish king and minister. So now those things happens. Now here what happened? It was like the at first as the thief died because a wall fell on him. Yeah, and then the brother of the thief came to the king, asking for justice for his family, and to give punishment to the one who has killed his brother here. Actually, no one is the murderer here, but the king will not understand those things. So now, then as the The king, he just asked everything, that it was who was the one to be the main culprit, and then the first one was the merchant, the house of that merchant where the thief has gone to steal the things. So he was the one to be blamed at first. So he was blamed, and he has become a murderer, as he has killed because his wall has fell on that poor man. According to the king, it was a poor man. And then now everyone wants to save themselves. Okay, everyone has to save themselves, and to save themselves, everyone has their own story. Everyone has their own story. The first story made by the merchant was that it was not built by him. It was built by the bricklayer, because he has not built the wall. It was built by a mason. Okay, it was built by a mason, and that mason has built the wall very weak. So that's why it fell on him. So that's why the merchant, to save himself, he put the blame on the mason. And again, when the mason was called and asked, the mason, he said that yes, it was he who has built the wall, and it was weak. But why it was weak, he has explained that because that day, while he was making the wall, uh, a girl was distracting his mind. A girl who, because of the sound of her anklets as she was just walking up and down the street, his mind distracted, and he could not concentrate on his work of making the wall properly, and that's why it has become weak. And then he said it was she who is to be blamed. It was she who is the murderer, not he. So then again, that girl, that dancing girl, was called in the court. And now the dancing girl uh, also have some maybe some excuses here, or maybe some stories of herself, that why she has to actually walk up and down the street. And in this way, the case was going on deep and deep. There was no one can decide that who was the main culprit of this incident. Okay, okay, understood, Priya? Understood, Priya? Okay, so I hope Priya, you have understood. If you have any doubt, again you can reply. Okay, then let's go to the other part. Then what happened to the girl, to that dancing girl? Will she be punished by the king or not? Okay. So now she thought for a minute and said, "My lord, wait. I know now why I was walking up and down that street. I had given some gold to the goldsmith to make some jewelry for me. He was a lazy scoundrel. He made so many excuses, said he would give it now and he would give it then, and so on all day. He made me walk up and down to his house a dozen times. And now the dancing girl also has some uh, incident occur with her at that time. She thought for a minute. She just remembered that what has actually happened at that time. She needs to remember now, because the king has already blamed her that she is the murderer. She will be punished. So she was also afraid. She needs to save herself. Yeah. So now she thought for a minute, and then she said, "Okay, my lord, wait. I know why I was actually walking up and down the street that day. I know why. And it was because I had given some of my jewelry to the goldsmith to prepare some of the jewelry to make some jewelry for myself. So I have given it to the goldsmith. But the goldsmith, he was such a lazy scoundrel. Scoundrel means, like, you can say, a wicked person. And yes, a wicked person, or not an honest person. Okay, he was not an honest person. He never does his work properly. So that day, as I had given some of the jewelry, so every now and then he used to make excuses. He used to say that tomorrow you come, I will prepare, I will make it tomorrow, it will be ready tomorrow. So every now and then he was just making me come to his shop every time. Tomorrow he says tomorrow. Whenever I go the next day, he say okay tomorrow I will give it. And in this way he has made me walk up and down the street dozen times. And because of that I have to walk up and down. It was not my fault. It was the fault of that Goldsmith. Now she also needs to save herself, so she said it. Why she was actually walking up and down because of that lazy scoundrel. He was just it was a dishonest person. He never does his work at a proper time, and every now and then he make me walk down up and down the street. Clear, everyone? Okay. After that, what happened? He made me walk up and down to his house a dozen times. That was when this bricklayer saw me, and that was the time when actually I was walking up and down to take my jewelry from the goldsmith. It was then this person, this bricklayer, he saw me. It's not my fault, my lord. It's the damn goldsmith's fault. And then she said that it was not my fault. It was the goldsmith's fault. Damn actually an expression to show the anger. Okay, the word damn is an expression to show the anger to someone. And she said that it was not my fault. It was that goldsmith's fault. It was he who has made me walk up and down the street dozen times. And because all those incidents occurred. Okay. So poor thing, she absolutely right, thought the king, weighing the evidence. Now, now, like, okay, yeah, it is actually true. The king, he just thought himself. Because the king, he doesn't have his own mind to think, judge the things properly. So now as he heard the story of the dancing girl, he said that yes, it is true. Actually, she is absolutely right. And he just weighs the evidence. He just says everyone's what everyone. He just thought of everyone's story, and then he realized that yes, the girl is true. Actually, she is not the one to be blamed. It is actually the goldsmith because he has actually made her walk up and down the street every time. We have got the real culprit at last. And then he decided, yes, now we have got the real culprit. Get the goldsmith wherever he is hiding at once. And then he ordered his messenger, just go and get the goldsmith wherever he is hiding. You just get him at once. And now the king, he decided that now this goldsmith will be punished. So we can see here that the king cannot have his own judgment. Whatever people say, whatever they the the story goes on according to that only he works. His mind works. He doesn't work according to his own wish, or he doesn't make his own judgment. He do not have that much idea to make his own judgment. Okay. So now after that, what happened? The king's bailiffs searched for the goldsmith, who was hiding in a corner of his shop. When he heard the accusation against him, he had his own story to tell. Now this goldsmith here, he was very much afraid of it, as he has known that this thing can happen, because every now and then the culprit was is being changed. And then the goldsmith, he hid himself somewhere in the corner of his shop. But the king's bailiffs, you can say, the officers in the court, no, you have this meaning in the in page number 27. Bailiff means a law officer who makes sure that the decision of a court are obeyed. Okay, so this is bailiff. So the king's bailiffs, they searched the goldsmith here and there, and they found it. He was hiding in a corner of his shop. When he heard the accusation, when he heard that this plan was going on by the king, the order of the king, when he heard it, he hid himself there. And now he also was ready with his own story. He know that he has he has to save himself, so he has his own story with him. He know that when he will be caught by the king's messengers and all, he will have his own story to save himself. Okay, clear, everyone? Okay, so let us complete this page. Okay, and then the other one we can do it tomorrow. Let me complete this page. So, and he ordered, okay, my lord, he said, I am a poor goldsmith. It's true, I made this dancer come many times to my door. I gave her excuses because I could not finish making her jewelry before. I finished the rich merchant's orders. They had a wedding coming and they would not wait. You know how impatient rich men are. So now uh, he also, as he have his has his own story, he also made his own story that, my lord, yes, I am a poor goldsmith. It's true, and he said that, yeah, it is true that I have made this dancer come many times to my door to take her jewelry, and I have given her lots of excuses at that time, because at that time I could not finish making her jewelry, because I have to finish the rich merchant's jewelry, because they had a wedding coming on and they need the jewelry very soon, very fast. So I have, before making her jewelry, I have to make the rich man's jewelry. And you know, these rich people are so impatient. They don't have patience. They need their things at the right time, as soon as possible. So before completing her jewelry, I have to complete the rich merchant's jewelry. So that's why I have that's why she has to come many times at my door. Yes, it was my fault, but it was actually not my fault that I have. It was not that I'm not the culprit to be punished here. So he has his own story. He replied it, and now, who is this rich merchant who kept you from finishing this woman's jewelry, made her walk up and down, which distracted this bricklayer, which made a mess of this wall? Okay? So now now the king has become very angry. He is very angry because every now and then he decides that, okay, now the main culprit was is caught, and suddenly they have their own story. And then the he was so angry. He said that, okay, who is this rich merchant? Just go and get him. Who is the one who has kept him finishing? Who has actually uh, uh, kept him finishing this poor woman's jewelry, as he has made her work so many down, so many time in the street, and which distracted this bricklayer's mind, and because of that all those things happen of the mess of the wall, and because that has fell on the uh, poor burglar, you can say, which has now fallen on an innocent man and killed him. Can you name him? And then now he was so angry. Now he said that, okay, at last we have to decide that whom we will give the punishment. So now just call that person, who is that rich merchant who has actually made all the mess of this particular wall, because of this all this incident occurred. Can you name him? Okay. The goldsmith named the merchant, and he was none other than the original owner of the house, whose wall had fallen. Now justice had come full circle, thought the king, back to the merchant. When he was rudely summoned back to the court, he arrived crying, "It wasn't me, but my father who ordered the jewelry. He is dead. I am innocent." Now the goldsmith he named the merchant, and the merchant was none other than the original owner of the house, the first one, no, the first person, that merchant who was the culprit at the beginning of the lesson. So it was came in the full. So now the king he realized that, yes, now justice has come full circle. The king thought that back to the merchant, the one who was actually caught at the first, when he was rudely summoned back to the court, and again he was called on the court. He was very rudely, he was called back to the court, and he arrived to the court crying. He was now very much afraid, and he was crying, and he said that it wasn't his fault. He said that it was my father's fault. He has actually ordered the jewelry that time. Now he is dead. Now he is already dead, and I am innocent. There is nothing to do with me, all this purpose and all. So please excuse me. So he was begging many times that he is not the main culprit. it was his father who has actually ordered the jewelry, and at that time all those things happened, and now his father is dead and he's innocent. But the king consulted. Now there is some confusion with the king that now as his father is dead, now who will be the main. So now who will be the one to be punished? No. So now he became a little bit confused. So now he, what happened? What he did? But the king consulted his minister and ruled decisively. It's true. Your father is the true murderer. He is dead, but somebody must be punished in his place. You have inherited everything from your criminal father of yours, his riches as well as his sins. I knew at once, even when I first set eyes on you, that you were at the root of this horrible crime. You must die. Now, the king, he just consulted, he could not decide what he will do, so he consulted with his minister and then he ruled decisively. Okay? Um, so just to settle the issue, settle the all those things properly. So now he has decided. Now his minister and he has decided. And then he said, yeah, it's true. He said to the merchant that yes, it's true. It is your father's father who is the main, who is the true murderer. But now he is dead, and now there should be someone to be must be punished in his place. Now, as your father is dead, so we cannot punish your father. He is already dead. So now, in place of your father, someone should be there to give the punishment. And then he said that it will be the punishment will be given to you because your father has done the crime. As you have inherited all the property from your father, means you have got all the property after his death. So now whatever sins he has done, the sins also you have to take the sins of your father. So now you will be punished. In place of your father, you will be punished. And then he said that yes, I knew at the beginning only that you were the one. When I saw you, I realized, I knew that you were the one, the main root of this horrible crime and all. And now you must die. So in this way, the king decided that now at last the merchant will be given the punishment. Though he has done nothing, but he will given the punishment. Okay, clear everyone? Have you understood up to here? I think let's stop here. Tomorrow we will complete. We will try to complete this chapter. Okay, can we stop here now? Okay, so as you have, okay, you have understood. So you read the lesson up to where we have done. You just read it once, okay? If you will read once yourself, there will be no problem in understanding the thing. It's very simple. It is written in very simple English and all. So you read it. If you have any doubt, you just give a message in the group, okay? So we will stop here today, students, okay? Tomorrow we will start the classes in the same at the same time. Till then, okay. Thank you. Bye, students.